Hello everybody, Nails of Norway are back again. Today we are going to do some ballerina shaped nails with forms, or sculpted, so that means with forms, and with gel. I like to use gel, and as you can see, when I put on my forms here, I have pinched them almost tight at the tip, not quite, so it's like a tapered, not square, because I'm going to show you. I like to take a tool that is straight, like this wooden stick, and I place it parallel with my bone inside my finger, and when I have that parallel with my bone, I just glide it up to my nail, so I have it parallel, still parallel with the bone, and then parallel with the nail plate and out. So then you can measure where your nail actually will meet the tip of the form, if you were supposed to do a stiletto, for instance. So then you can kind of measure how long you want the nails to be in your head and so on, to see how long that nail would be. I can do a video about nail shapes another time. But this thumb I did earlier, and it's a completely different form that I'm going to do now, because this resembles more like a plastic tip form, even though I have sculpted it. That means it's more flat, and if I was supposed to narrow this even more in, I would have filed off a lot more of the inner C-curve of the nail, and the nail would have been a lot flatter, as I said, and more weaker in the shape in itself. So keep that in mind when you are using plastic tips. But with files or with the forms, you can do whatever you like and make whatever C-curve you want. It's not just an apex that makes an nail, it's also the C-curve, actually. So moving on, I am starting with Nded's Dehydrator and Nded's primer, because since I really love to sculpt with the Nded sculpting gel, so that is why I use Nded's product as a base and sculpt. So here I'm going over to the base gel, and I use always a thinner or a brush that has a shorter brush, because I like to really rub that gel into the nail plate. And then of course curing it, and I moving on to a non-self-leveling sculpting gel from Nded. I really love this gel because it does not move anywhere, but it is still really soft, and you get it so thin on. But I am going to do a blooper here really soon. I only finished a little bit on my pointer finger, and then I also just almost finished half of one side on my middle finger before everything just broke down. So when I'm over to the ring finger, you will see, and I will explain everything. So after I have removed my pinching tool and put on the plastic tool to keep the C-curve to last, I'm starting with my ring finger and just gliding the gel around, so I get a really nice and thin base for my nail. As I said, since this does not move, it is so easy and I love to use it. So I'm going to use it until it's empty. Someone told me that Nded is not there anymore, but we'll see. I flash cure it for 10 seconds, and then I put on the big pinching tool and cure it for 45 seconds more, and then after that I put on the lighter clamp, that's a see-through clamp, so I keep the strength or keep the pinch in the gel, because the gel always have a tendency to go back to its normal shape, even though this gel again is really great to pinch. You can pinch it after another layer of gel on top. Actually, I really like it. So I do that with the rest of my nails, and when I finished pinching and ready curing and putting on the last clamping, I put on Light Elegance first step gel, or one step gel of course, and I just put on another thin layer just to give this nail a complete surface, if you want, or a smoother surface from the base gel over my sculpted tip, so I get a smoother surface and a nail that has a smooth surface all over. And you will see that I still pinch it after half curing, and then I put on the fully, that's clear pinch. So yeah, that is what I do. I just lightly move around my tip of my brush and guide that gel lightly around, so I can see that I have a good amount of, or a small amount, but a good amount of gel on all my nails, so it's smooth. And as you first I put the big clamp on, and then I put the other clamp on while it's cooling down, and after it has cooled down I take off my form. So that is how it goes. As I said, I put on another thin layer all over the base and the sculpted tip, so I get a smooth surface all together. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of a thin sculpted base nail. And curing it first with a clamp, and then afterwards with the plastic clamp until it's cooled down, and then I take off the form. And you might see that these are really thin. You will see it afterwards. I'll try not to talk through everything, but I probably will. Sorry. And of course, be careful not to get it into your side walls. If you do, wipe it away right away before you cure it, or else it's stuck in between there. And when you have it on your skin, and you get water and moist from the skin. It will transfer under the gel and into the nail plate and will lift. You will not like to have that lift. These nails will be built for lasting. So I just did this pinky a little bit backwards. I took the form off before I was finished with the last layer. So here you can see I wipe off the tacky layer because I always measure these nails just so I have this kind of my form is ready, if you know what I mean. So I do not add extra gel, more gel that I need to do, because then my this is kind of my form when I'm finished with the side walls and the tip. And I also go over, since I have removed the tacky layer, I also need to buff the nail up a bit. And I also like to go over it with not just a buffer but a fine grit, so I get that smooth surface to start with. So here I'm mixing my blue colors together with some clear one step, and so I get that blue that I want to have. I wanted to try almost like a translucent blue. It has been a while. It's been almost 2 months. It has been more than 2 months from I made these nails until I recorded this. So please forgive me if I have forgot anything. And I always like to take a primer on after I have buffed my nails. That is just because I want a tacky layer between each dry layer, or a dry layer. So I have something that is tacky, yeah, between the layers. So I put on a base gel of the blue, and then I put on a thicker blue, and then I cure it. And a little bit more blue on the whole nail, it looks like, but mostly on the tip, because that is where I missed the most of it. And then I cure that again and wipe off any excess. And the pinky is also going to be fully blue. I'm going to do some pink and blue ombre, and just some pink and clear ombre, and just some blue fingers. As you can see, these are the blue. Then I go in with the layers that I think I need to have. And just push it gently into place. You need to be super gently with your touch when you're working with gel. You can almost just, if you can see it, I almost just have the tip of my brush in the gel and just glide it around, like, yeah, and use the gravity also to glide the gel around the nail. I love working with gel. And then I'm going to use this Lily Nails Builder Gel, the Rouge. I love this color as a base nail bed color. So that is my pink color. So this finger is going to be an ombre between the base, not a fully ombre, but a rough one, because I'm going to put a lot of glitter on top, or a crushed mylar glitter, so it does not have to be a perfect ombre, because it will not see that through anyway, so you do not need to fiddle a lot with that ombre. So again, with a little bit of the pink, just so I cover my nail color. This is not to build up a lot of not a lot of strength. This is more like a color base or a color coat. This color combined with the mylar, glitter mylar, is kind of the sandwich, as you can say, or if you want to call it a sandwich, it's the color and the glitter is kind of the middle of the base and the top. And this finger, I'm just going to take the pink gel and I will just use the clear as a tip. So here I'm just buffing over, and you do not need to buff this layer because I just needed a break from my nails a day or two. So if you are going to finish your nails right away, you do not need to buff your nails, because that is just an extra step that you do not want to do. So again, I had to put on my tacky layer again, since I took a little break. So I buffed. It was really easy to buff off a lot of this see-through blue, so I added a little more on my pinky, and especially the pinky, because I was not supposed to have any of the glitter gel on this nail, so this was just going to be blue. So that is why I put on a lot more blue on this nail. So then on top of this nail, my last gel is the cool gel, because the cool gel is a little bit thicker and it is so shiny. It's super shiny. I love this gel, and you never get bubbles. Never. Light Elegance products is super easy to work with, and I love them. And I'm also using this cool gel to build up this nail, since I'm just going to have this clear tip with the glitter. So I'm using Sequins of Events, so beautiful mylar flakes, and oh, I love my Light Elegance glitter gels. I'm simply in love with them. I wish I could change my nails every day and make another design with them. They are just, oh, I love their glitter gels, especially the glitter gels, but their gels in general. So after I have fiddled it in place, I cure it and go over the cool gel again and fully encapsulate everything, and I get the shape that I want. And when I am finished with my shape, I of course cure it, and I use the gravity to keep everything in place. And here I put down a base layer or a slip layer. I have no idea why I did that, because it's lot of thin gel in that sequence of events, so I have no idea why I did that. So you can choose to leave that out if you want. So I'm just placing the glitters wherever I want it. And go over again with the cool gel to encapsulate the glitter, so it's not going to be bumpy and lumpy. And my biggest struggle, my biggest struggle when it comes to nail is that I always add too much product in the adding. I It's just my biggest weakness. I do that with gel, and I do that with acrylic, I do that with polygel, I do that with every single type of enhancements that I work with. I put on too much products and I have to file away a lot. But I am so afraid not to have enough product on my nail, so I like to put on a lot. But I need to work on that. I really need to work on that. So here I just moved that gel around like crazy. I was not happy with myself where I wanted it to be, so I moved it around every single place. Yeah, well, I found a way in the end. And then encapsulated this again. And my pinky finger is a lot flatter. My nail bed is a lot flatter than my other nail beds that are a lot more C-curved in itself. So I have a tendency to put my form a bit lower than the other. So I need to build that up a bit so it has the same shape than the other nails. So it always look really thick when I sculpt it here, but then afterwards I go in and file it from the underside to make it thinner again, and then it resembles the other nails. But that is just when I have not put my form on right. And curing that big blob of nail, and I go back and put on another layer on my ring finger. I have no idea why I do that, because I can see that this finger is going to be thinner again. Yeah, and wiping off the tacky layer. Then it's over to the filing. That is the big blobs before I filed. I'm just showing you how it is before I file it. So this is then the shape that I was going to make here. Oh, totally forgot it. The ballerina shape, yeah. And these are kind of more like a square, or it has to be tapered. It has to be tapered in the sides, and the side walls has to be straight. But just in the beginning, when I have a lot of product on, I like to make them straight. But then when I'm finished, you can see that I have two chunks of sides on the side walls that are really straight and thick and fat. But it is really important that you smooth that out again and get that round C-curved nail, but you can of course flatten a bit on the top like I do here, so you get that. Yeah, if you want that more of a flat top, if you want that more of a coffin look than the ballerina look, I would say that the ballerina has a rounder look and the coffin is more like a square look. So now I'm finished. And then I use my trusted gem glue that I bought from AliExpress a long time ago. I have no idea where I bought it. I cannot find a buyer for you because I have no idea where I can find it again. But it works really great for bigger stones. If I'm using smaller stone, I just use glue. So I'm just adding my stones where I want it to be. And just fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. You have no idea how much time I spend pulling out all my gems and to figure out where I'm going to put my gems or how much I'm going to do in the design of everything. Wow, I'm so happy that I do not have a salon. Yeah, most people would not have these nails anyway, so I think that would have been pretty easy. It's just me that want bling bling bling. And I like that this is gel because you can fiddle with this also, and then I cured these two fingers together in the lamp like the regular gel, and then I continue working with the rest of the nails. This looks so super bland before I get to the top coat. And I am going to use shiny, that is Light Elegance top coat, and that is hard top coat because Light Elegance is hard gels. So then you can use a hard gel top coat. I like that because they often are, they tolerate a lot. It's stain resistance and scratch resistance and so on. It's really a hard gel. I do not like the brush actually because it is really soft and long, but I know that the newer ones are shorter and better. So I cannot wait to get to use this one so I can get a shorter brush. And I brush around my my gems, not over them, just around them. The small ones I might have went over them, but not the bigger ones. And this one is supposed to cure for 60 seconds or 3 minutes in a UV lamp. And rubbing it off because this one has a tacky layer, and since it's a hard gel under and over, you can also file around the edges and make the edges crisp because it will not be any flaking in the around the nails. And then over to the oil, and here we have the nails finished. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I had 5 hours that I needed to go. I got it down around 30 minutes. I think I'm super proud of myself. I'm just really fiddling with my speaking, so I'm sorry about that. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love all of you, and I love that I can do a little bit more of videos out now, and I have a long list for you. And so hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that before, and I would love to have you in my stable of girls and boys who like to watch me do what I do. So hit that notification bell so you get updates. Comment if you like, and please like this video if you like it, because I need to get noticed in the YouTube world again. And yeah, thank you for now, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.